The next stage that I'm not sure if this is going long, but I can share a couple of it. Is once we have that peace met, and we're in bliss and we're in love and we're in that state of unconditional love and gratitude, then the universe opens up other doors of compassion, of peace, of relaxation, it's like music in the atmosphere, music from the planets. We can hear the sound of Om, we can hear the sound of Amen, we can hear the trumpet of angels. We can really become one with life. So death is not something to be feared. His death to me represented a new beginning for him and me, him as a guardian angel for me, and wherever his soul goes and it reincarnates into another birth, because God allowed me the ability, like divine prophets, to be able to see the future and past lives of people. And it is true that the soul does get resurrected. Now that's a conversation, that's a very big conversation, and it's not for tonight. If you're interested in that, it'd be great to know. I'd be happy to share more. It'll take some time. The important message is that when you want to get what you want in life, how to attract what you want, how to be what you want, how to feel that inner and outer success and be in that loving vibration, we start first with being in the human self and our higher self. In cosmic accounting, I talk a lot about our higher self, higher consciousness, the higher awareness, the higher connection to the divine, to God. And then we get that going. Then we have the people like my Uncle Frederick that's closest to us, that we really like, our spouses and our children. I've heard stories, and in my own biological family, I've shared so much pain about my dad had missed that one. Today I had an amazing conversation with my dad. Amazing. It was almost like there was no bad karma with my own dad too, and it was very healing, and I would want you to have that type of relationship with your biological dad too, because he had missed it for a big part of his life, where it was more important about what they think versus what his own children. And that relationship was strained, but it no longer is, because he's at the end of his life too. And I'm able to have a conversation. You know, Dad, it's important to do an accounting for your life before you meet the angel. Then God's going to do a reconciliation and a record of all your deeds, thoughts, and actions. You know, Dad, you really want to do this before you get there, because when I tuned into my uncle's spirit and his energy, I know in my heart, he's like, if I had only known that you wrote a book like this, it makes a difference up here, to have an accounting for your life done, and to know your words, thoughts, deeds, and actions, how they've affected and helped others. And if there's any place in your life that you don't have that person, like I've had many of those, I can't count how many. There's been some bad ones, I've talked about them, but I've had more good ones, because I'm good to the people that are close to me. Because I work a lot, 20 years I work on the inside. I can't teach this stuff if I don't work on it myself. I want you to look within. That introspection, that self-analysis, that place where you look, where the real source of the tears and the pain and the vulnerability is, and you'll see that it was never out there. It's never the victim consciousness. It's never that someone did something to you. You look at where it is that you contributed to that experience, and that's all it was. In the end, we're all just stories. Because when we're laying in that coffin and we're going in that dirt, like my uncle this last week, it doesn't matter if we were white or black or tall or short. Our bodies are earth, water, fire in our digestion, our electrical energy system, and the air, the oxygen we breathe. We borrow those elements of oxygen, hydrogen, the compounds from the animals and the fruits and the vegetables that we eat and the water that we drink to hold this physical form together. We may forget that we have hair, but it's really protein coming out of our makeup, our biological, spiritual genetics, and our physical human genetics. That at some point we're laying in that coffin and we're doing an accounting for our life. And my question to you is, did you do what God sent you here to do? Soul mastery, if I were to look you in the eyes and say, as a soul, forget the human for a moment, forget the human mind, step into the cosmic awareness, into higher awareness, where we are one with our Creator, where God is with us. And ask yourself, am I in my heart in alignment with that message? Am I speaking, walking, talking, and acting, and doing, and being that which God created me to do? My uncle did that for me. He was in his 80s. It was his time to go. Our days are numbered, so make yours count. I've chosen my greatest teacher. He was a teacher, a school teacher. And he taught many, and he was brilliant. And I love him more than I love anyone in my life. Like I say, except John, it's like, I love a lot of people, but not that same love as a father, as an unconditional, a person that's never once meant me harm or a negative thought, just pure love. To be blessed with that. And accounting for your life. Are you living in alignment with that soul? So when you have the reconciliation with yourself and with your immediate family, then we have that bigger community and family. Then the soccer, football, the outside, the soccer mom, soccer dad, the school, the choir, the church, the congregation, the outside world. If we're not good with ourselves, we won't be good to our spouses and our children and our families. And if we're not good to our families, we will bring that negativity to our bigger community. If we can get that first from ourselves, then for the next circle, our outer circle, then we will glow with bliss and love. It's not that I'm blessed and lucky to have all these people love and support me. It's because I love and support them first. It's because I think about them first. I want you to think about that. Then when you have that wider community and we see what's happening in the Hollywood lifestyle, you have these young starlets and they come in and they have this fame and money and they go straight to the top and they go international and big and they have all this fame and money and power and everything. And then they collapse on, alcohol and drugs and violence, and it's just a tortured existence. No beauty within, no peace within, no happiness, just divorce and pain, and the earth is filled. When I looked in the accounting for our planet, gosh, I talk about these topics sometimes. It's filled with toxic energy of all of this pain and negativity. Why? Because we forget that it starts here. An accounting of our own life, an accounting for us, a cosmic accounting, that we are one with the creation of this planet and the universe. We are amazing beings made in the image of God, our Creator. So that was my message, to do a reconciliation from the heart to your heart, your heart to your mind, your heart to your body. And if you look in that camera and you can't just speak your message and connect to someone one-on-one, you can't share your light, regardless of the comments that are coming in on YouTube or not YouTube. I encourage the feedback because it helps me to be better. And I'm trying to force my communication, make it quick and whatever, like YouTube, but I can't change my personality overnight. I'm working on it. So this might not have been 5 minutes or 3 minutes and commercial and marketing and all these things people say, but I wanted to be different in the sense that I wanted to be me. God created me to be Indira. He created me to be endearing and loving and bring that light and that joy and that happiness and that bliss to you and your family. He made me intense at times and emotional. He made me so that he can experience life through my beingness and being one with him, so I can be in bliss and bliss can be in the world, so I can bring more love, more joy, more happiness, more abundance, even in death, even in pain, even in murder and violence. I've witnessed this, my own sister being murdered at a daycare by her husband in front of 21 children. I've gone through hell and back on this planet, and yet nothing sticks. It's just pure love that comes, because I come to an awareness that everything happens for us to grow and life lessons as souls. I want you to look at your life and do an accounting for your life with your first you inside of you. And if there's disconnected and inconsistencies, then we should talk. You should get on one of my webinars, my seminars. You should come see me in Sedona. I would like to get to know you. My work that God created me to do first was to work at the largest accounting firm in the world, PricewaterhouseCoopers, doing accounting for trillions and billions of dollars, corporate financial control, Citibank. But when I took the same knowledge and I created a system to do an accounting for a human being's life, to do an accounting for our planet, it hurt more than the passing of my mother or my sister and the death of the uncle that I love so much. Our world is not in a position of higher awareness. People I see, they put money and greed over human life. The value system, the core of humanity, for the most part, serves an ego for materialism. That is probably why in a lot of my communications it's jammed and it's pushed and it's frustrating. Because I don't understand. I don't have the luxury for maybe the greatness or the weaknesses that God created me to be, to understand why, when we're created in the image and in the love of a creator that loves us, and we can experience bliss and peace and inner peace and happiness and joy, that we can go out there. You know, people go to church and saying, and then they come out, and when they're, they pray to Jesus and they pray to God, and then they come out and then they cut each other off on the way to Denny's to go get their hamburgers or whatever they're eating for lunch. And then they call themselves godlike beings, and they're religious. God has become a place where we put him in Sunday for a few hours, and then the rest of our life we can be jerks. And then when we do an accounting for our life and everything's going wrong, then we go and we say, oh God, what happened?